Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you follow me on Instagram, you will know that I am not finishing the 31 Faces of Halloween. I have quite a bit of personal things going on and I just can't finish it, but I am still doing a few more looks until the end of the month, so please don't fret. First, I covered my eyebrows, and then I am now priming my face. I'm taking my Bin 9 Magicolor Cream Crayon in white, and I'm just kind of tracing out where I want everything, just to get an idea. We are going to be putting foundation on our face, but I just wanted to kind of get an idea of what I wanted to do, and I even end up changing this up a little bit, so, you know, what was the point, really? Then I'm taking my Kat Von D Lock-It Foundation, and I am applying this all over my face with my Beauty Blender. Also applying some concealer, blending that out, and using translucent setting powder and setting all of that as well. Then I'm priming my eyelids. I primed both of them, but we're only doing shadow on one, so you don't really need to prime the other one. I'm then taking my Lunatick Cosmetic Labs Elvira palette. I'm going to be using the peachy color right in the middle, the black, and the blue. I'm taking that peach color and putting it into my crease. And I'm doing some, more of a round eye shape. And I'm taking the black and putting it right into the crease and blending it up. And I'm just kind of going back and forth until I get the depth that I want. Then I'm taking the white shade and I'm putting it right on the lid. Using my Ultra Defined Wings from LA Splash Cosmetics in center, I'm just doing a round eyeliner shape just to make my eyes look a little bit more rounded. And then I'm taking that same Bin 9 pencil and I'm putting that into my waterline and I'm dragging it down onto my lash line a little bit, again to make our eyes look a little bit more round like a doll's. Taking the blue shade from the Elvira palette, I'm putting that on the bottom, and then I'm also kind of taking some black right up against that white line and smoking it into the blue. Using my Bin 9 MagiCake Creature palette, I'm taking the black shade in this one. And I'm using my Liquicet to activate it. You can also use water. And I'm creating some eyebrows that look like they're just drawn on. And I'm just doing little lines all over the place. Or they're little pieces of yarn. Maybe that they're stitched on. Who knows? Who knows what happened to this little voodoo doll? I'm also taking that mixed with the deeper red shade in that palette and I'm creating the lines for the mouth. I first started with only one side because I wasn't really sure how I wanted to go about this. And I made it all jagged and crooked too. I didn't make it a perfect line. And then I'm doing the one on the eye. Remember, we're having that button cover that one eye, so you don't have to bring it all the way up to your eye. And also one on my forehead. The one on my neck, I decided to make super open on the end there, so it looks like my neck was almost cut off. And then I made the one on my forehead a little bit bigger too. Using my bright red aqua paint, I'm creating a little heart on my chest. And then I'm taking my Shade and Light palette from Kat Von D and I'm going to be shading these little spots where our stitches are going to go into. Now, I've done a lot of stitch looks, but I always paint them on. I wanted to do something a little bit different and actually use some tulle yarn to create the stitches and make them look more 3D. So I'm laying down the base for where I want the stitches to go into. Then I'm going to put black right in the center of those. When the yarn covers these, it doesn't really show up, so you can make them a little bit larger. And then I take black paint and go right in the very center of them. Using my Pro Artist liquid liner from LA Splash Cosmetics in Alabaster. I'm just highlighting the edges of some of these cuts or wounds or whatever they are. Now time for the fun part. I'm using my fresh Scab blood from bin 9, and I am putting this all over in the cuts. Although we are a voodoo doll, voodoo dolls, obviously don't have blood. Well, I don't know why I wanted to do blood, but I just wanted to do blood. So here we are, and this name is inspired off of my username off of Instagram, because my username is Voodoo Barbie doll. I'm sure most of you know that, but I don't know. Why not do blood, you know? And now it's time for the little stitches. I put on a blonde wig, and I put some red extensions in it just to make it come back together a little bit more. I think the red pulled it together to match the blood and all that. So I'm laying down some little spots of liquid latex onto those little spots we created, and then I used cut up yarn that I got from Michael's. So it's literally just like a tool of yarn, and I cut up little pieces, and I'm placing it onto the liquid latex and holding it there for about 10 to 20 seconds so it doesn't move anywhere. You can do ones that are just going straight up and down. You can do some X's. You can do some that aren't connected. You can do whatever you want. If you bend it a little bit at first too, it helps it kind of get that shape a little bit better. And the liquid latex I am using is from bin 9. Before I continue on with the lips, I'm going to fill them in with my LA Splash Cosmetics Wickedly Divine liquid lipstick in Ursula. I wanted to go for a very doll-like shape, so I'm creating them much smaller on the sides there. I'm not filling in my lips all the way. And then I'm continuing on with the lips. Now, you cannot really talk through this. You can a little bit. If you make the stitches a little bit longer, that way you can move your mouth more, then you would be okay. With how short I did mine, I really couldn't talk that much. Then I'm just applying more blood, connecting it to the mouth. And then finishing the stitches. I'm contouring my face a little bit. And then I have these little pokies that I made. They were just little pieces of some incense sticks that I found, and I had some little beads, so I just kind of connected them all. You can really go buy some if you wanted to, but I wanted to make them look like little pokies, you know, little needles that you put in a voodoo doll. So I'm just using liquid latex and some tissue to make sure they prop up right, and I'm just applying them in various places. And then I'm also applying blood. Duh. Then I'm doing some little eyelashes on the bottom of my left eye. Just using the same black paint we used earlier. And also just doing some really light little freckles. I'm using more of a gray toned brown paint. And just doing it very lightly. For the button, I'm applying liquid latex on the areas where the button's going to be laying flat on my face, and I'm also applying some tissue, putting more liquid latex on that, and then putting liquid latex on the back of the button and pressing it onto those areas. You can add more if you need to. You want to hold that there for a good 30 seconds to a minute if you can. Then I'm using Stage Blood, which has a zesty mint flavor. It really does. And I'm just applying that to other areas. This one's more of a drippy kind of blood that does not really dry down. So I'm just applying that in some areas and making it look kind of drippy and gross. And that's the end of this look, guys. I hope you enjoyed this. I'm so sorry I'm not finishing all looks, but I really hope you understand it's really hard, and I'm pretty proud of myself for getting as far as I did. So Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll have a few more tutorials up before the end of the month. Bye!